It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Dr. Calvin Finch, Mark Peterson, along with me, Milton Glueck, sitting on the porch here at Milberger's at 1604 on Bulverde Road. It's another pretty day in South Texas, and we encourage you to come on out and be a part of the show. Maybe you got a gardening question like that man did yesterday on his Japanese boxwood, where you just want to kind of discuss things a little bit. It's sometimes easier when it's in person, but if not, you call us at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. And we're expecting a call from Michigan in just a minute, I guess or so, where Bert will call us, and we had to cut him off yesterday because we'd run out of time. So it's awfully hard to say, hey, we've run out of time. So call early if you got a question. If you're thinking about something, call right now. All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Calvin brought a bunch of tomatoes. Now, which ones are these? Are these these aren't 968, are they?
No, these are
surprise?
No, not Roma, but
no, not blush. Oh, yeah, maybe it was the blush. It's the blush one.
I don't know. Now I'm blanking too.
We're both looking at around each other
we got a combination. When it comes to us, this is the grape shaped tomato that we've been talking about all
Ruby Crush.
Ruby Crush, thank you.
And then then I also brought some of the large tomatoes, tycoons and
for the listening audience, just imagine three old men on a pork bench. Yes.
And we brought the.
Oh yeah, we need to see Lulu.
Our milkweed.
Lulu's got to come by and pick up her milkweed. What did you bring? Just the foliage?
Oh yeah. What else would I bring?
I don't know. I didn't.
Yeah, just the foliage. And
so what does she do with that?
She feeds it to the caterpillars.
So you just put it down on the ground? You put it in an aquarium?
Well, she probably has some techniques because she's been teaching with it for years. But you'd want the foliage to survive as long as possible so that the kids can follow the maturing of the caterpillars. And it takes them, takes them 30 days at least, and then they go into their chrysalis, and then they hatch out of their 30 days, and then they're ready to fly. But they do need something to eat, and so what we've got is most of the native milkweeds have retreated, and so we've got that the giant white flowered calotropes that does real well here, and they certainly did like it last year.
Yeah, that was the big tall one that was so pretty.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So we got all that going on. 210-308-8867.
And the monarchs are still flying. Not as many as there were a few weeks ago, but they're. I saw one yesterday. We saw some here at Milberger's, and today I saw one this morning when I was out collecting the foliage for the kids and the caterpillars at school.
All right. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. Yes, sir.
Keep going in and out of my earphones.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Just check those.
What do you mean? It goes right through your head? Right
yeah. Well, I couldn't hear you, and then Milton comes in like gangbusters. So.
Oh, okay. How's that, better?
It's much better.
Okay.
I don't know if I could still hear Calvin, though.
Oh, say something, Calvin.
What should I say?
Okay, there you go.
Oh, good. That's all you needed to say.
Let's see. Yeah, the blooms are really beautiful today.
Yeah, I went
that
to
sun shining on them.
On the what is that? The Indian
snapdragons and the pansies there.
Oh,
and then this the one that Mark described. Mark, tell us again what this beautiful.
That's Indian blanket, or
so it's Indian blanket. Normally, we consider it a Texas wildflower in the springtime.
Yeah, but
this one seems to have shorter stem and thicker and brighter flowers
and bigger flowers
and bigger and brighter. So I think some work was done. So I'm going, is that Gaillardia? So during one of the breaks yesterday, I went over and sure enough, it was. But it looks like it's improved on our native Gaillardia.
Oh,
yeah, that is one of the.
It's very pretty.
It's one of the easiest wildflowers to grow, but of course the flower doesn't match the one that we're showing here in the Milburgers.
No, the wildflower is a little smaller, a little simpler.
Yeah,
I was less
lots
robust,
of blooms,
maybe.
So.
And a little
yeah,
lighter,
there you go.
A little lighter in color, but just by a couple of degrees. So, I mean, you definitely can see them on the side of the road, particularly in June and July.
All right. Yeah. No, and you see them in
early
waves of.
Yeah,
they look really pretty.
In waves.
Waves, they just. Yeah, they wave at you as you go by.
Okay,
we're the friendly state. So, Calvin, does this mean that your tomatoes are pretty much kaput now?
Well, they're still loaded with fruit.
Oh, no.
But the foliage doesn't like this weather as much. And so the fruit, as it ripens, is not as attractive, doesn't get as large. But no, there'll still be at least one more harvest this large. And what
really? Okay.
We're almost January, aren't we?
Wow, yeah, because we talk about Christmas tomatoes as though
Thanksgiving.
That would be a miracle. Yeah, with Thanksgiving tomatoes, yes. Christmas tomatoes, but now we're getting to
New Year's
MLK Day tomatoes. I mean, we're going pretty long here. Do you think it's the variety? Obviously, the weather has a big deal to do with it.
No, it's. I mean, I've got, as I mentioned, we got Ruby Crush here. That's been spectacular from the earliest part of the season up until now. It's still looking good, and the plants are prospering. And then I've got 5 or 6 of the large tomatoes, including Tycoon, Celebrity. What are some of the others? Red Snapper.
Red Snapper. Valley Cat is one you always seem to forget.
Yeah.
What was last year's?
Oh, last year was not Thunderbird. It was Rambler.
Oh, Thunderbird is
Thunderbird and Rambler.
Rambler was last year, wasn't it?
I think so, but I was going to make a joke at 2023, but never.
Okay. Well, hi, Trace.
I guess it would have been 2024.
Yeah. Well, what's going on? It's a pretty day.
Yep, we're just getting things organized, so once the trucks get here, the space is already there.
Oh, good. Okay, and the trucks will have what on them?
All kinds of stuff. So on the 2nd, we're going to start getting our hard line in. So it'll be chemicals and stuff for fruit trees, dormant oil, mouth ion, that kind of stuff. And then we will progress into same day containerized shade trees. When we're done with that, we'll go into fruit trees and woody shrubs and yuccas and stuff that can take cold.
And eventually, roses.
Roses, antique roses are like the last week of January.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember.
Oh, that's not very far.
No, it's not.
The hybrid roses are first or second week of March, depending on the weather, and first or second week of April, depending on the weather.
Oh, okay.
So, what we think of roses, and Valentine's, those are hybrid trees.
Okay.
Hybrids and hybrid trees.
But when you talk about the ones that you'll have in, like
soon,
Belinda's Dream.
I think there's some Belinda's Dream.
Knockout.
There's about 15 to 20 different antique roses coming.
Anything fun, new that we're not used to?
A non-rose rose like Lady Banksia.
Okay.
Should be in that group. And that's perfect time to plant that one because it needs the cold to bloom.
Oh, okay.
Did you get both the yellow and white?
I'll know when the truck shows up.
Okay. I'd like
Are
the white.
both ordered? Yes.
Anything Grandma's yellow, maybe, or no, can you get that anymore?
I don't think. I don't think that anybody showed that available to book.
Okay. And we did say knockout. And those are always great. So yeah, lots of stuff. What other big bloomers will be coming in?
Pink bloomers or
Big, like the roses.
Flowering quince would be one that would pop in pretty soon.
Okay.
An old-fashioned still should be used. It's a beautiful plant.
Which one? The quince. Okay.
So it's deciduous and kind of like some other things. It actually blooms before it puts on its leaves. Used to plant quite commonly back in the 70s and 80s.
Oh, really? I'm going to have to look it up in a sec. My computer's doing funny things.
Primrose jasmine.
We wouldn't remember that, Milton.
What?
We'll have to take the word of one of these older people from that.
So primrose jasmine, we already have, but we got more coming. Carolina jasmine is one of the first vines to bloom, so that's already coming, probably 2 weeks out.
Primrose jasmine is
working on mountain laurels right now. That's always a good one, and if we bring them in early, we get the best pick of the crop.
Oh.
So we'll bring what everybody would think is an obscene number. So like 5 gallon, for example, we'd bring 300. That way we get the best 300 they got right off the bat.
Was Mountain Laurel on the CPS list? Do you remember?
No.
No? Okay.
And I was just
not tall enough.
I was thinking about that in the Wonk. I took the dogs today. They're mountain laurel. Some of them were 22, 23 feet tall.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I used to have the biggest one on UIW campus, but it got beat out by another mountain laurel. But the unique factor was it was tall, very tall. It was 38 feet tall.
Whoa.
So,
That's
but
a
it was
serious
skinny,
mountain.
and so it lost points on the state average of big trees.
But it's bigger than Mexican plum and evergreen.
Yeah,
and now that actually could provide some shade.
And I like that it's tough, resilient, as they say.
It's another one of them, though. The easiest way to kill it is to plant it in the soil that's poorly drained and overwater it.
So do you not want it where you've got a
St. Augustine lawn?
Oh yeah,
or shaded underneath a big pecan tree.
Okay. Oh yeah.
It's like I read yesterday. In order to learn how to take care of a plant, you must learn where it grows natively.
And where does?
On a hillside, in rock, in the hill country, all the way down south. Usually on in a rocky area.
Does it just south of San Antonio?
It will go south of San Antonio.
Oh, not north? Okay.
Yeah. Huh. No. Primarily north.
Oh, okay.
But there is some to the west and to the south.
Understory tree for a lot of the oaks out in the...
Oh, really?
The oaks that are still alive out in the hill country.
So they told us how big you can get one. Do they have dwarf crepe myrtles? Not crepe myrtles. Mountain
laurels?
Yes,
they do have dwarf crepe myrtles, but not mountain laurels.
They don't have dwarf mountain laurels? Okay.
Some of them that are grown in poor soils don't get very large.
No.
Yeah. Naturally become dwarfed.
But they're pretty tough.
And, people always say, I have so many disease. Deer. It is kind of a disease, if you will. Deer. So mountain laurel is a wonderful deer-resistant plant.
You know, though, that the male, the bucks, like to rub on it, too. Or maybe they don't like to rub on it, but if that's all that's available, they'll rub on it.
I think that they would prefer Texas persimmon because it's nice and smooth versus a mountain laurel. Or maybe I don't know. I have yet to ask a buck on proper
just come
bark rubbing.
Are you on speaking terms with the average buck?
No.
Just come to our neighborhood again, Mark, and you can see.
Which ones have been rubbed on?
Yeah, Texas mountain laurel. Theralis surprised me, and of course Esperanza is getting the heck beat out of it. Mesquite, almost everything that's available. That makes it. Me have questions because I don't remember in past years that there's as much rubbing as this year.
Well, you have a lot of deer in your neighborhood.
For sure.
Need to bring in some mountain lions or some wolves.
Well, we got some pretty aggressive coyotes.
Oh, really?
In your neighborhood?
Yeah. I don't know if they're killing the deer, but they're eating them once. If it's cars running into the deer or what it is, but they're pretty evident this year. But they're not. In past years, they've threatened the cat population, but it doesn't seem like they're much interested in the cats, coyotes this year. So
how about wild hogs? Would they take out a deer?
What?
Wild hog take out a deer?
Not on.
Could it run fast enough, I guess?
Well,
why would a hog want to take out a deer?
They're carnivorous.
If it was sick, they do feed on meat. They're omnivorous. If it was maybe it was a down deer or a lame deer or something like that. If you know, call in. And do hogs eat deer?
All right. These are the questions that plague us. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. Let's take a quick break. Come back in a moment with more of Milberger's Gardening, South Texas. Live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery, 1604 on Boulevardy Road on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Don't forget, it's still the holiday season. New Year's Day is coming up. New Year's Eve. You'll be celebrating with family. Make sure you are providing them with the best food, or maybe you're just going to eat better in 2025. Then I need to tell you about Prusky's Market right there in Atkins, Texas on Highway 87. Over at Prusky's, you will find outstanding beef, chicken, all kinds of poultry, sausage made right there at Prusky's. And you'll find we have duck, we have prime rib. If you're looking for something for the holiday and you don't want to make it but you want to serve it, then Prusky's can help you with that. Whether it was Christmas, it's a little late for that now, but New Year's, they can help you with that. And they had some fajita meat that was pre-seasoned, ready to just throw on the grill. So you owe it to yourself, really, to get the best quality stuff by going to Prusky's Market, 140 Highway 87 in Atkins, Texas. Now, that's between 410 and 1604 on Highway 87. And the website is pruskysmeatmarket.com. That's pruskysmeatmarket.com. So check it out. You won't be disappointed. It's a lot of fun. And, all right, 210-308-8867. Yes, sir?
Well, even the kids enjoy it because of the old-fashioned meat market kind of attitude. And the root beer, were you telling me that they still got all those?
I'm not sure. We'll have to check next time whether they got the old sodas and stuff. Yeah,
ice cream and.
Yeah, but it's still all kinds of great things over there at Pruski's Market. So I encourage you just to drive on by and go visit them.
25
today till
different kinds
5.
of cheese.
Really?
No,
I don't know.
but I mean, on their they make those wonderful platters. So.
Oh yeah, if you've got friends coming over for New Year's and you want to make it really easy, go get yourself a cheese and sausage platter from Pruski's. Very, very, they'll love it. We did it for a party and it was absolutely a big hit. Okay, well that's enough about bacon. Oh, Trace is back up. Oh, he missed the conversation about bacon.
I did, but I started thinking, is Pruski's open on
New Year's Day?
New Year's Day?
Great question. I will find out.
'Cause that's the only day I have off this week.
Yeah. Oh, you'll have to go by. That'd be cool.
I need something for the game.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Noon, right?
I think so.
Yeah. That's what Al said. All right. 210-308-8867. I'm going to text him and find out for sure. What else do we need to talk about here? Do you want to talk about David's presentation?
I think that's sure.
Okay.
Right about now, everybody's getting tired of looking at their poinsettias. And we have a great selection of houseplants, and we have even more coming tomorrow or Tuesday morning. So we'll fill up that greenhouse, hopefully leaving enough space to have the seminar in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so on the 11th, David will be here from 9 to 10:30? No.
10 to 11:30.
10 to 11:30.
Mm-hmm.
And everything houseplants. Best selections, what to fertilize, how to water, how much light. All those things we will discuss.
Yeah.
And more.
And the cool thing about Millburgers, too, especially if we can have it in the greenhouse on the 11th, is going to be that it's how hard you guys work, Peter especially, to get unique and cool stuff for houseplants.
Oh, you bet. There's a lot of things in there that you just don't find anywhere.
Yeah.
I hit a couple that I gave a Christmas present to. They are plant aficionados. So after a show, I went back into the greenhouse and I got a Venus flytrap and a pitcher plant.
Yeah, and one of the
perfect.
And they were perfect. So they loved it.
One of the featured statements that were made in the here's resolutions to consider if you're a gardener was to branch off, to try something new, a different type of gardening if you're used to one or the other. And it's especially significant the way Tracy and Mark have described the indoor plants.
Mm-hmm.
If you're getting old like them, you probably want to keep actively gardening, and you want to keep learning about new areas of gardening. That indoor plant is a real place to look, to learn, and to go. And here at Millburgers is the place to get initiated with David's presentation and the selection of plants, gift certificates. It's the perfect place to start that transition.
What do you think the biggest challenge people have with houseplants is?
Lighting.
Okay.
Or they pick the wrong plant for the wrong circumstance or right circumstance, however you want to look at it.
And so if you go to David's thing, he can tell you the right plants for the light.
And he'll be there after the fact, so if you had something specific that you want to ask, as soon as he's done, he'll take questions from the audience.
And do the little tags show you how much light they need?
No.
Okay.
Well, it's deceptive, too, though. It would be hard to describe on a tag how far away from the window. So that's part of the challenge of indoor plants, is to learn from experience and to get access to a program like David's giving, where there'll be a lot of questions about how much light this is.
If you're new to houseplants, then you should be getting a couple to start with that we know you're going to have success with. So like pothos ivy and ZZ plants, we know that 99% of the people out there are going to be successful. So start easy and then work your way to some of the more interesting plants.
It's easy with CZ?
Yes.
Oh, that's why you're in this business. So.
And what is it normally called? I want to see a picture of it.
Zimmericallis zimerifolia. But I bet you if you just Google ZZ plant.
Z-I-Z-I?
No,
Z-U.
ZZ.
ZZ?
The letter Z. The letter Z.
And plant?
Plant.
Okay. Oh, here it comes.
I like a Chinese evergreen. I think that's pretty indestructible.
That is pretty easy. and it's
That's high up there.
One of the lower light tolerant plants.
Oop, I got Zanzibar gem. I know that's not it.
No.
So, yeah, that's what
Actually,
Calvin...
it says ZZ Plant Zanzibar gem. Okay.
What Calvin was saying was...
There are different varieties of it. So
Oh,
It's
okay.
certainly possible that it's it. I can't see the picture.
They have bright light,
That's it.
Oh, good. Okay.
Just a different flavor.
indirect light.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know the definitions of those?
I don't know.
Bright indoor light, indirect light. What's another one that frequently used? I can't. Those are the two that's most often
think-
used.
Would it be better to
think
talk
Dave-
in lumens?
David will
No,
also
no.
talk about publications and resource books that can help you start your. What do we have in terms of a library?
It's all in my head. We don't have a library of it.
Oh, okay.
But almost every plant in there has the name on the pot.
All right.
Or an abbreviation if it was too long.
Oh, so
like
you can-
ZZ plant doesn't say Zimmercalis zimmerfolia, it says ZZ plant.
Okay.
So that each one can be Googled.
Yeah.
One of the most interesting questions we get that there's not a good list for is, are these plants cat safe or dog safe?
Ooh, that's a
But
good
there's
question.
not a good list out there anywhere because there's so many different indoor plants that we can answer that question.
Let's see.
So what do you throw out? Do you throw out the plant or do you throw out the puppy when it's not?
Well, if it's a cat, that's another issue.
You can send your emails directly to Mark Peterson. What's your email address now?
I don't know.
Okay. Water your ZZ plant every 2 to 3 weeks or when the top couple of inches of soil is dry.
And that's fine. Peter waters his regularly. He actually put it in a bonsai pot in his bathroom with almost no light because, the bathroom windows are all snowed over with that glaze. So he's been quite successful growing that for years.
Now you are downgrading poinsettia, but I suspect that David, if his indoor program is like he normally does, he'll talk about how easy it is to take care of that poinsettia and have it last all year, and what it looks good with on kind of support plants too.
Mm-hmm.
How to keep it well watered and keep it. We spent a lot of time talking about.
Maybe he'll go over the history of it because I think that's kind of.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That
that
is
is
cool.
interesting. Yes.
Yeah, it's really quite a difference. In the plants.
You want to talk about the ivy, the pathos, or do most people?
I think most people know what that is.
Is that the
That's-
one that just keeps it going?
Yep, that's the one.
I've seen homes where they have taken that and run that all through the house.
Yep, a restaurant that we used to frequent had one that was probably 30 feet long.
Wow. Yeah.
In a 4-inch pot.
Really?
Yes.
That's a different plant.
Yeah.
It doesn't want more soil. It just wants to.
It just however much foliage that soil would support, that's what it had.
Huh.
Definitely didn't have much of a reservoir.
No. Do you have to water it very often?
Sure, in that kind of situation.
Sure. Okay, I can see that.
But normally, no.
Okay. How much would you pot it based on length? I guess I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Normally, so you were not
Well,
suggesting.
To me, if it got that long, I would be making babies.
Oh, okay. Cutting it and do you just pop it in more soil?
Soil is one of the few plants that can grow just in water. So
Oh, yeah,
my
that's
my
right.
wife likes wine, so we have empty wine bottles all over the house with
Okay.
pothos ivy.
Yes.
And
I was wondering
some
where
other
you was going to go with that
other
one.
philodendrons growing in it. My brother-in-law even put one in his fish tank.
Oh,
It was Monstera philodendron. Growing in his fish tank.
it growing in it or growing out of it?
Well,
Meaning
the
that-
roots are. He washed all the dirt off, put it in his aquarium.
But it's now a underwater plant.
No, the foliage is still
Fine.
out.
Okay.
It's hanging on the top.
Yeah,
Okay.
roots in the water, plant out of the water.
Gotcha. Interesting stuff. Okay. So these are all the things. Bring your questions for David on the 11th, and he will discuss them. And that's really cool. That's a really good idea. There's no houseplant society, is there? As far as you know? Like we have the xerophyte and cactus.
Well, there's like the senior center clubs and things that get close to that kind of a. But I don't know of any that have
And I still think one of the best resources is San Antonio Men's Garden Club.
I think Calvin needs to start that.
The Houseplant Society?
Houseplant Society.
Okay.
Now, but
he's old enough.
Yeah, but now the last time he had some suggestions for me, it was for teaching kids. Now he's wants me to teach senior citizens. Yeah,
I think that
you'll
one
feel
was
more
shot
at home.
down.
Okay. Yep. They are closed New Year's Day. Okay. Pruski's is closed New Year's Day.
So I got to go get it New Year's Eve.
Go Go early. No, I'll ask him about that. I should have asked him.
Does it close early on New Year's Eve?
All right. I'll talk a second while I'm typing.
Well, we can't. We're just fascinated by your typing.
Yes, sir.
Well, nothing. I'm just,
okay.
That was my main question. Is when do I have to go to get my Pruskies?
There you go. Uh-oh. There she is.
That's Lulu.
We see Lulu.
Oh, is that what this is all out here for?
That's what it's there for. All right, 210-308-8867. What's that?
I'm going to let her have the mic.
Okay, 210-308-8867. And toll free, it's 866-308-8867.
I don't have my glasses on, but I could tell by the lovely chapeau.
Yeah.
That
okay.
is Lulu.
Well, Lulu, grab the mic. Tell us what's going on. Oh, where did the mic go? It's right there. Yeah.
Hi. Here we
go. So Calvin brought foliage for you.
Oh, I know. I'm so excited.
And why is that?
Oh, my gosh. That's huge amount. Why is that? Well, it's going to help our monarchs that we have in the garden at school survive, because the little tropical milkweeds we have are really tiny and thin, and these guys really, in order to grow, they need more food, and so this is going to be awesome.
How do you? I think Milton had a question. How do you keep that foliage living for a while?
Well, I have several different ways. I use cups in order to put the stem in there. I don't know if these have stems. If they don't have stems, then I use Topo Chico bottles.
Oh.
And then I fold the leaf so it fit in, and I do a little split in the leaf, and then we sort of build a little house that goes around it so that they can crawl up and get to them. But it's been good.
And these leaves have a tendency to last, too.
Oh, yeah. They're because of the thick skin. Yeah, they really last a long time. And they get all sorts of holes in there and eat them up and get real big and fat.
And is this the real tall one?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That giant white one.
No, did yours make it?
Calotropes, is it? What is it called? Calotropes. White calotropes.
All I know is the white giant.
Yeah,
That's
giant
easy for
white
me.
one.
Starts with a C, that's all. C and something else.
Yeah, I have it on my phone, but I can't see too well with it.
Calotrope, I believe. But
yeah,
we're still
I have it, but it doesn't look as good as his. Yours always looks so good, but you put yours in the ground, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, mine's still in a pot.
Oh.
It doesn't like it. I have to cut it back and put it in, but.
Well, they're kind of independent because I plant them and that's nice and straight and positioned where I want it. The next thing I know, it's leaning over and the roots halfway out.
Right, that's what it looks like in the pot. It leans. I don't know if it's looking for more sun, or this is just the way I like to look is.
And the good news is it just stays alive. And continues to bloom and has nice foliage. It's supported a large population of the aphids were pretty common early, but they aren't much. But the beetles we're pretty thick on it now.
The aphids are on ours. So I have a little one that I think I had two of them. One of them I took to school. And that one didn't do too well. I don't know why. I think because there's some water that's dumped in that area that we tried to get the school not to dump in that area, and it was right in a spot where it just ended up not making it. But the aphids were all over it, and so I always say, oh, you can squish the aphids. And they love squishing the aphids. They think that's the coolest thing on the planet. Oh, the aphids over here. Squish them.
Now, it's no difference among genders.
I have not found any difference between them. The girls really love insects, and they'll let them crawl on their hands. At least some of my classes have been like that. And I'm just like, oh, my gosh, this is awesome. And the boys are running. But when it comes to – it's really funny. But when it comes to the aphids, they love the aphids.
So how do you what is the basis of the teaching that you accomplish with the monarchs and the caterpillars and the
aside from just learning about the life cycle, which we have to teach them about the life cycle of different insects and frogs and that kind of thing, it also opens up conversations about conservation. What can we do to conserve the areas that these insects need, and what is it that causes all this food of theirs to disappear? Why do we need monarchs and other insects for our own sustainability? And one kid's like, well, we can't produce vitamin C, so they help us out by pollinating other plants. His big thing was bell peppers, and they will pollinate that plant, and then we'll be able to get vitamin C. So they help us out, and we need to help them out. So those kind of conversations have been amazing for the children. They use it in their writing, but just the discussions that we have, and that's what you want. I mean, we're trying to help them. They're trying to help us.
And what grade are these kids?
Second.
So that sounds more sophisticated. I was wondering if they got in the middle of this, what is the migration important? Is it necessary for the population? And why are they making some years there's a large population, other years there's not?
Are the second graders getting into that?
Oh, yeah. They love to track them.
Okay.
And so
geography. All right.
Oh, yeah, and that's something we talk about as well. So we have biology, botany, writing. They'll do research. So we tie everything in, but their big thing is, so they're making their way down. If we have no milkweed for them, that's going to stop everything. Or, there's a lot of competition. Only a few of them will survive and land. How do they navigate down, pretty much the same way each time? And so they're looking up on the internet, the kid internet. We've had like Monica, we've had her input, and so we read her little book or big book. It's not little. So there are a lot of interesting, basically conversations.
That is really cool.
That we have. So, and then I have a group 2nd through 4th, or 2nd through 5th, because I'm moving out of the regular classroom, and I'm the music teacher now.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, we have 2. So, but I keep my club going, and it has to do with, planting the plants for these monarchs, and as well as their food source. We have a lot of porterweed, and they will count and see, how much we can plant, how much milkweed we can plant. So you pull in the math for that without the plant having to compete against another plant, and so you have to space things out. And we have 4 big plots of land. So
you'll have to combine the things too and see if there's music that the butterflies like and music that they don't like. And that'd be interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
We can lure them over there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
So.
Well, thank you, Lulu.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
Do you have any tips for people for the New Year's planting New Year's resolutions for gardeners?
Just get in there.
Okay. There you go. All right, we got
Jump
to
in.
take a quick break and come back in a moment. 210-308-8867. Thank you for coming on the mic. 210-308-8867. More of Millburgers Gardening, South
thank
Texas.
you for all you do on the team.
Yeah. Are coming up on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Millburgers Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. 210-308-8867. That's our number. Give us a call. Be a part of the show. 210-308-8867. That was pretty cool. Yeah. So that was neat to learn about our class. Boy, for second grade, I don't.
That's what every time I ask that question.
Pretty sure in second grade I was
me.
not that sharp. That's amazing. All right, you?
No, I'm not going to say anything.
Okay.
I'm going to be nice.
Oh, okay.
Nice to me and nice to you.
Okay, we'll be nice people. All right, what's going on? Okay, you keep pointing at me, or you just okay?
No, I'm just
he's
eating.
just eating. He's
Okay.
He's gesticulating about his.
So let's see. It
Wonderful
is now the end of December. Just a couple days early.
No, I was also thinking this is our last show
of 2024.
2024.
Yeah. Ooh, someone's bringing their tree back.
Hey, tell everybody about that.
Yeah, I want to get all the details from Trace though.
He said yesterday he didn't think the certificate
was ready yet. Yeah, so that's what I want to find out.
We still could mulch the tree up. And
take a couple too.
Yeah, don't have any ornaments, animals, small children in the canopy.
Don't have any of those on there.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Do you want any?
You want?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
But I was going to wait till a break.
Oh, okay. Not just.
Okay.
All right. But we'll find out about that. But what were we talking about? Oh, 2024. So did you have a?
So I was going to say, ask everyone out there if they had a remarkable plant store or even unremarkable plant store for the year.
Oh, okay.
And then as the time progresses, we can talk about what to look forward to. Because Calvin has a great article next week coming out. So.
You want to talk about that now?
Well, I'm looking forward to the resolution article, which will be next Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
One issue that I think people love the cyclamen, but they are an expensive plant, and once you buy them, they're blooming, and they generally bloom all the way through the winter. They're relatively cold tolerant. But one thing that does happen, if you've got squirrels and cats, and they have a tendency in containers, if the base breaks off from the root when you've got the squirrels running in there and being chased by the terrier.
Mm-hmm.
And so
when that happens,
the truth comes out.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not beyond common right now to have if you got 20 planted, to have 2 or 3 that had that broken off. But you can Millburgers has still got a good selection and a lot of colors that you can fit right in there. So I went ahead and did that yesterday, and some staff helped me find the colors I needed and pick them out for me, and then I went ahead and plant them. Easy to plant. They got a kind of a heavy base root, and you put them in there, and then it looks and if you're lucky, and what usually happens that you don't have that happen more than once in your garden, unless of course it's the major pathway for your squirrels and your terriers or your cats.
I have a long terracotta box, an herb box, if you will, that I need to fill, and I'm thinking about filling it with cyclamen and putting it on the front.
Oh, that'd be
front
nice.
porch.
That is pretty, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I have speaking of squirrels and other things, I'm wondering what's happening. So my tomato went bye-bye. I went to the green container. But I was picking the green tomatoes off, and it was like you pick one off and it looks great, and then you kind of turn it around and it's got this big black hole in it, just one, and it's like, oh, ugh, what is that? And then you pick another one and it's got this big black hole in it. Is that something taking a bite out of it, or
It's
is that an insect?
Could be.
yeah, the
It's on the
penetrating.
side. It's
Yeah,
very
it's on the
likely
side.
to be
Is
an
it
insect
now?
or a bird.
It's a bird. I didn't think about a bird. I bet it was a bird. Because that sounds right better than
If it
because
didn't
a squirrel
have a
would
spot
just.
on it, I would say my dog visited your house.
Yes, your dog is cruising San Antonio, going from tomato plant to tomato plant. That dog needs to be
In
stopped.
a little red sports car.
Yeah.
A very tiny one.
But it looks more like a. So it's about that big, maybe dime size.
And
Uh-oh.
it is a penetration.
Oh gosh, yeah,
Yeah.
about quarter of an inch in,
Yeah.
and about a quarter of an inch around. So let's see if you have. Yeah, you got.
Well, a
yeah,
lot
there-
of things that are happening here when you got these weather variations.
Right.
It gets
See
real
that?
cold and they get damaged, or
Okay.
the growth rate on
Or-
one part
yeah.
of the fruit is different than the other part.
So, yeah, when we get to 40s, then we go all the way to 80 in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get discolorations or blemishes like that.
Okay, well
Because
maybe just.
the rapid increase in temperature.
I'm trying to see if you have one on yours that I can point out.
So, other
don't-
things
yeah, I
it
don't-
could be squirrels.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
It could be raccoons.
What is that?
Not so much. More like
I think that's
squirrel
probably
thing,
a bird there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm guessing bird too.
Yeah.
You think the
so-
feral cats would take care of the birds?
Raccoons are messier.
Oh, are
Yeah.
they? Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd think they're fastidious, but they tend to go, meh. I
They
don't want
take
that one. I'll
Oh.
do another one.
They take a bite and they
Oh, but they rip it apart.
apart.
Okay,
Where the birds sometimes
And-
there like that one you could just cut
and do
cut off
squirrels?
the
Oh, good.
piece.
Okay.
Yeah, squirrels will take a bite out of it, kind of a raw bite out of it. So that's another thing.
Now, do they take like a huff, or do they just take a?
More like a quarter between a half and a.
Okay.
It could be possums too. Sometimes.
We do have possums.
Yeah.
We don't have coyotes. I don't think. You really have coyotes?
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Well,
So, yeah.
You know, another thing that
That's a good
is,
thing. I like
is
that.
serious about tomatoes, can be serious, is fox. Now they're more interested in things like figs, but
So yes, and we have a fox downtown, very nice fox, but I keep forgetting about foxes. They do like fruit and figs, and what other one? Strawberries. Yeah.
oh gosh,
Yeah. Anything red, they tend to like.
and any of the fruit trees, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the same berries that the birds are eating, the fox will eat too.
Foxes are one of the few canines that can climb trees.
Oh, can they ever? It just
Yeah.
I
It's
just-
amazing if you'd ever see one.
irritates the heck out of me, and it irritates my West Highland Terriers too. That they, why can they climb those trees? They're not
And
supposed
I
to be able to
can't.
climb those.
Dad, why can't I climb the trees like
No.
that gray fox?
And so, so foxes are canine, or
Yeah, they're in the canine family. The
Okay.
canid family, they are a different branch.
okay.
So,
Somebody I thought said they were related to cats too, or just related to cats. No.
because they can climb, they
They think
they have their claws.
Okay, is that why they?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're retractable or unretractable or something like that.
Okay.
Well, in the north, we never thought of them. At least I didn't, and the folks that I ran out with didn't think of fox in the same breath as we thought of
No, they
cats, and we didn't think of them climbing all the time. I
Yeah.
don't remember them ever climbing. But gosh, here and then a lot of the urban stories,
Right.
they show photos of them climbing on top, running across top of fences, and just making themselves at home in an urban situation and being very, very comfortable. And
Do foxes get along with cats?
They kind of have a tendency to ignore each other.
Oh, okay. But coyotes don't get along with cats.
No.
Or perhaps cats don't get along with coyotes.
Well, no, coyotes like cats.
Yes.
In a culinary way.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. Well, that's interesting stuff. 210-308-8867. Ooh, the butterflies are coming out. 210-308-8867, the number to call to be a part of the show. We're going to take a break, get you caught up with the news. Are those sparrows that are flying all around?
English sparrows.
Oh, okay. So we'll do that real quick. But, hey, we got a guest coming up here. 210-308-8867.
Looks a lot like Andrew.
Yeah, more of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
We're back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. 210-308-8867 is the number to call as we broadcast live, so you can come on out to Milberger's at 1604 and Bulverde Road and talk to us in person and share what's going on in your gardening world like Lulu did, or maybe you've got a question that you want to ask, but maybe it's on your phone and you just want to show us a picture. Coming out in person is easy to do, and you just it sometimes helps a lot. So 210-308-8867 or 1604 in Bulverde Road, and don't forget to go to milbergernursery.com to learn about David's upcoming seminar. And Michigan Bert, you need to call us, buddy. We didn't answer your question yesterday, so don't wait till the end. Okay.
Well, another thing that Andrew from Gardening Volunteers of South Texas is here, and we're working on the schedule for the butterfly and milkweed classes.
2025.
Yeah, so we'll probably have about 6 of those scheduled, and one of our partners will be the Gardening Volunteers of South Texas, which are very active in gardening and very active in the environment and classes, education, gardening classes. So we should have that schedule ready. Of course, Milberger's is...
They'll have things, too.
Yeah, we'll sponsor directly a couple of classes right here, and then they play a role in all of our classes as one of the partners. And we'll attempt to do what we did last year. We'll attempt to distribute seeded milkweeds to the attendees of the classes, and also identify the continuing questions we have about what it takes to successfully grow native milkweed, and then to address those issues. And so we hope, as time progresses, it'll get easier and easier for us.
And the project has stimulated other questions, as science and research often does. It's like we have these certain species that germinate quite readily, but then we don't see a lot of activity on them, and vice versa, and things like that. So it's really interesting on where this is all going.
And we got, we've been doing these classes for at least 3 years, and so we average about 100 attendees a year, and we've been collecting the data. We do have to organize a major collection this spring or late this winter, so that we can see what we've kind of analysis of what we've learned so far, and then we've started the process of preparing the seedlings for the winter. They're being stratified.
I was going to say
right
stratified. Now. And do you have another treatment?
Actually, I didn't do. I'm not going to do the. I had one of the milkweeds was the swamp milkweed, and we had trouble getting that to germinate, and so we tried some pretty weird kind of.
Yeah, I know, but I'm sitting here looking at you, going, "What was it again?" I can't remember now. What we did?
We bleached.
Bleach. That's where it was. Yeah.
And well, the issue is kind of an interesting issue. We couldn't get them to germinate no matter what we did. So we thought, well, we're going to try all kinds of different things. One of our gardeners says, try bleaching it. So it's worked for them to bleach it. So we did. Then the other thing we did, we tried a different source of seed, and then our partner, the seed company, said, well, we'll get you some fresh seed too. And so of course, you know what happened? All of them germinated now. So we've and part of it was perhaps it was the fall. Yeah, all the swamps germinated in the fall, and in the spring they didn't really do well. So that might be one of the answers.
That is certainly something to consider. In Texas, there are some species that are oriented to fall germination. So fall elm, is a cedar elm, has a fall germination, where in other parts of the country, the elm species are spring oriented. So they're oriented to when the best time for germination for water, or maybe dispersion. Some species germinate early spring because they can germinate with floodwaters. So it's very interesting. So we always have to consider seasonal aspects to germination as well. And we may learn something.
So anyhow, we're just in case you're curious about it, we are going ahead and putting together the schedule. There'll be classes, of course, here at Milberger's. There'll be classes at the Education Resource Center, Dream Hill Estates. There'll be classes at the Comal County Master Gardeners, at our Eco Center, Sinkin Eco Center. There'll be classes as well, and so that'll be in March and April mostly. And we will do, of course, like we do every year too. We'll also do some potting up tomato for the rodeo tomato classes. So.
Yeah, we just need to know what the rodeo tomato is.
Yeah. Someday they'll let us know.
Yeah, who knows? But that was tricky last year too, because I don't think maybe Ramblers will be available, because I don't think we got Ramblers until like after the rodeo.
I think that's what it was. It was a production issue.
Yeah, I think so
if I remember correctly.
Well, there was part of it was new management and the wholesaler, and so their priorities and their scheduling.
It's still getting
their techniques were different, or at least they were exploring them.
Yeah, exploring new ones.
All right, 210-308-8867 is the number to be a part of the show. 210-308-8867. Again, kind of beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Are there things in the San Antonio Gardeners should be doing?
Yes.
What?
So preparing for the new year, thinking where all your beds are going to be, preparing those beds by adding compost or aeration or something to that effect.
And don't forget, which we try to mention every single day, be prepared for the cold weather.
Yeah, that's a good one to do.
We may not get any, but you can't count on that.
As we sit here enjoying the beautiful day, it's still in the back of my mind. Yeah, maybe I'm just a paranoid Midwesterner.
Well, how long have you had your weather protection? I mean, you can buy it now, and even if it doesn't get freezing, you can use it next year. Historically, as Trace likes to say, it will get cold again.
Yeah, if you look in the back of my pickup truck, you'll see that I did buy all the parts that I need for that.
Just recently, or in the past weeks?
Oh, the past weeks.
Okay.
When that when that cold weather.
But do you have to buy
threatening.
it every year?
No, you don't have to buy it
Yeah.
every year. But if you got a severe weather situation, you quite often, and if you don't have a fancy house, or if you have a house that has a long history, or part of it is old and part of it is new, and you've got all those challenges you have to deal with, and you sometimes the house, the plumbing stays, and the garden does all right for 10 years, and then suddenly the 11th year is the challenge. So you've always got to be ready for it.
Okay.
I was going to say just one thing: people don't use plastic. Please
Okay.
use the woven material that's here available at Milberger's and other locations. Never use plastic.
And why never use plastic?
If plastic touches a plant or even a hard surface or something, it actually defeats the whole purpose of warming a plant. It will actually kill the tissue.
Because it's cold?
Yeah.
It
transfers the heat.
Now
or
you
the
can
cold.
you can be
Okay.
you can also say that even a cloth cover, if it's touching the foliage of like your citrus, that can
It can damage
transfer
it.
the heat, too.
Just
Now-
not as much.
Now, I've seen people successfully use plastic, but if they are successful, they do it like a tent, basically, and then you have to be ready for action when the freeze is over, because it heats up.
Yeah.
The tent heats up right away, and so you can, if the cold didn't damage it, then the heat will damage it.
Think
So you-
greenhouse when you're using
Yeah.
plastic. So and then you have to open it up quickly.
Or start your fans. Yeah, I always thought that's so ironic.
I remember you writing
Turn
about
the
that.
heater off and start the air conditioning.
Within minutes. I always think, Calvin has written about that in the past, and I always think that's funny because, literally.
So what other preparations should people be doing besides weather preparations?
So one is planning.
Planning
with an N.
Okay.
And then that's also, if you have irrigation, make sure that that's functioning and functioning appropriately. You don't have to be using it right now.
Okay, so let's go a little deeper into that. So how do you?
So I'm putting on my Saw's hat.
Okay.
Many people have in-ground irrigation systems, and they should have those checked out. Saws offers a free service for that, but it's very easy to learn how to that controller. And it's a small little computer on your wall that manages your irrigation system. But it's very easy, very simple to do. But you want to run that, make sure everything is copacetic. All the heads are appropriately aligned. There's no leaks. There's nothing like that. But you want to prepare for the upcoming spring and summer. And that.
Really, we're getting to the point now where it doesn't necessarily make sense to water the lawn. I see people that are watering, good gardeners generally, but they're watering the rescue grass lawn, and I want to say it's really not necessary for your regular. As a landscape matures and the trees get old and there's a lot of shade, and you sacrifice the lawn quite a bit.
Right. It's just that, frankly, irrigation system is just for the lawn.
Right.
And it's really only for about 3 or 4 months a year.
So
if it rains normally, you really don't need it about 3 or 4 months a year.
Yeah.
So
it's a big if, isn't it?
I know. Calvin is like jumping over, ready to jump on that.
I think Friday we've got a good chance of rain.
Right. Well, that's the next year.
Oh, that is next year. Next year.
It's already starting. So
so
that's the thing. So is that worth the investment? and then also make sure seasonal you're not you're not watering, and then 2 you're not overwatering plants.
So what should I do about my bluebonnets that I planted in that strip between the sidewalk and the thing? They're looking kind of puny now. I think they want water.
Well, no, they don't necessarily need.
Oh,
they are one of the plants that really doesn't need much water. You can hand water them.
yeah. I was thinking I would do that.
Basically, you want to have some water to get them to germinate, and then maybe one watering, and they seem to survive and prosper. And that situation, they rosette kind of. They don't do any growing until a month from now or 2 months from now.
Milton, I want you to go get the Saturday paper, read Calvin's wonderful article, then go get the sports section and look on the back of the sports section and see how much we're deficient for the month of December. And you see that and you go, oh, I should water. Maybe a couple of times during the month. And then that's all you do. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
So
okay.
then you just see how much we're deficient in the month, the average,
Oh, and try to.
and then try to mimic that.
Okay.
And then don't worry about it. So we're probably about half of the month total.
Okay.
I didn't look. Sorry, everyone. I didn't look at it, but I would imagine we're about halfway. So you water it, and then in the second week of January, you go, we don't seem to be making up the monthly total. So you just give it a little bit.
And I'm not seeing, by the way, the rain for Friday anymore.
Yeah, I didn't expect.
Okay.
I've had a lifetime of disappointments, so I'm just disappointed that
Goodness.
I'm not surprised that no rain this year.
Okay. So maybe water a little bit.
Yeah, but you always want a good soaking.
Okay.
You know, but play it by ear or thumb. You know,
And one of the reasons.
what's the ground look like? Oh, it's thoroughly soaked.
Now, I should be a little more prudent, too, because my sewage rates are being determined now by the water use.
That's right. It's winter. We are in winter averaging. So I was going to average your lowest months in that. Winter averaging occurs November to March. So they're going to average 3 of the lowest months, and that's going to be your year sewage fee. That's going to determine the sewage fee for the rest of the year. Because we assume that no one's using outdoor irrigation, only indoor irrigation.
Yes?
Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of gardeners that are doing some watering, and unfortunately, a lot of it is unnecessary watering. And then that's another thing. One of the things we talk about all the time is we want gardeners to have lots of choices and to have 12 months of color, and the neat thing is you can do that without wasting water.
Okay.
So if you just we talk about resolutions, and next week, or one of the issues we mention as a potential resolution is figure out how you can improve your environmental situation and still have a wonderful landscape and garden and color.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. While we do, you give us a call at 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. We got more of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up. Live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery, 1604 on Boulevardy Road. Dr. Calvin Finch, Mark Peterson. I'm Milton Glueck, back after this on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. She bought some poinsettias over there at $1 each. Nice deal. All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867, the number to call. Did we finish the the topic, or did you want to add
No,
some?
I'm just saying in the month of January, what should you be doing? And mostly it's planning. We used to say January is the planning month.
Okay.
To get really, really active. Now, you could still be planting various
Planning
vegetables.
and planting? Okay.
Yeah, planting.
Oh, you want to talk about the veggies we got?
Yes, veggies we have. We have, and I wrote them down today in
Oh, good.
preparation.
Okay.
So we have cole crops, COLE, and that is broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage that you could be planting right now, and that we have available transplants we have available right now. We also have onions still,
Oh, good.
and we still have some turnips. And then if you wanted to plant carrots and radishes, we have a lovely seed package for that. What's February? That's potato time.
Oh, is it potato time?
Yeah, getting ready for potatoes. Leafy stuff we have out here. I love leafy spinach, lettuce. We have several different kinds of lettuce. Greens can be still grown at this time. We don't have any specifically out there, but we have Swiss chard.
Yeah, really nice looking Swiss chard.
Yeah. And then we have Calvin's and I's favorite. We have peas that you still could plant this time of year. English and the edible pod ones.
Are the you mean actually transplants?
Transplants?
No, we don't have any out there,
Oh,
but
okay.
we'd have to plant. Yeah,
Yeah.
go to our seed racks here and get some. But
And,
that's what you could be doing in the garden right now.
Yeah.
That was
Is
the
there
point.
anything else to plant by seed right now?
well, sweet peas are doing well, and English peas is much. Of course, beets. Mark doesn't usually mention beets. It's not his
Yeah,
favorite.
notice that.
Why
Was
does he,
that conspicuous?
why does he hate beets?
Radishes and
Oh, you know what I saw? Go ahead, radishes, and I'll tell you in a minute.
Carrots, radishes.
I was thinking the rutabagas and turnips.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's a little late for rutabagas.
Yeah.
you know, I got the juicer, so I'm experimenting with stuff in the book, and I'm looking at it. They have a recipe for rutabaga juice.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it supposed to accomplish?
I don't know. It's just a juice that you're supposed to enjoy, and it probably has lots of nutrients. Rutabagas have lots of nutrients, don't
Yes,
they?
they do.
I can't. I can
How's it going to
imagine.
taste?
Beets have a distinctive juice taste.
Yeah.
but I don't. Rutabagas are pretty bland.
It's bland.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm drinking liquid paper. Maybe kind of like
Oh.
that. Yeah.
Well, that's one of the attractions in terms of as a vegetable meal is that it doesn't have many calories and doesn't.
Let me see again what
It's
it
not
has.
overwhelming in terms of flavors.
I saw Andrew looking over the table. We still have lots of strawberries that could be planted right now, or should be planted right
It's
now.
not a vegetable, but we still got bluebonnet. So
And we have bluebonnets. Thank you, Calvin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have bluebonnet in, I think, both 4 and 6 inch.
Rutabagas are an excellent source of potassium, calcium, magnesium, vitamin E, and C. They just apparently are not an excellent source of taste.
Well, they used to grow them because you could grow a huge bulb,
Yeah.
and then you could store it in your cellar, the vegetable cellar, and lasts for a long time, and
You just keep cutting it?
Yeah, keep folks from starving.
Hence the term root cellar.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
See.
All right.
So anyway, we have opportunities for you to plant right now, but the main focus I always think of January is the planning
Okay.
with month.
What else are you planning for? You mentioned irrigation system. You mentioned.
Or organic matter in our soil.
Oh, okay.
So that's so compost is always good at the end of the month. Well, always at the end of January, I always think of fruit trees too. We're talking about fruit trees. It's bare root. It's traditional for bare root trees to come in at the end of January.
So fruit trees. I hate to be negative. Fruit trees.
One of the neat things now about fruit trees, you get to choose the selection that this is the best time to get the ones you want.
Right. We'll have a
Florida
good,
King.
Yeah, good selection. But so we could pick and choose early, or put on the wish list.
You got it.
Here.
Look at your favorite resource book on fruit trees or gardening in general. And Neil Sperry's book is wonderful.
Yeah.
And pick the varieties. Or what's even better, if you've got a neighbor or a fellow gardener or a gardener in the garden club with you, or master gardeners that's had great luck with a particular variety, then see if you can get access to that variety too.
So my favorites for San Antonio are citrus, and then pears, old-fashioned pears, or Asian pears, or something like that. Not Bartlett. Bartlett pear we cannot grow here. It's too humid. At night, particularly at night. And then figs.
Yeah, figs are great.
Figs are an excellent plant for San Antonio. Excellent fruit tree to plant.
And figs are tough.
Yeah. In fact, if you don't have a firm hand to a fig, much like a child, they're going to get out of control really quickly.
Again, one of this you can write Mark Peterson at. I know that after
spoken like a
Michiganer,
somebody that doesn't have kids.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. If you, I know after the cold, we had the two big freezes. I saw fig trees that had just died down to the ground, and they came up like they had something to prove. I mean, they just...
Yeah, when you cut them back after they froze. They just went boom.
We sometimes overlook the fact that they also are very water sensitive. They suffer quite a bit. I have to admit that I did not use my irrigation at all for my figs, and that's kind of unusual because it's one of those plants that where they in the old days we used to put a foot of mulch on it.
One of the few species that actually go more than 2 inches, please. More than 2 inches.
Oh, okay.
We used to put a foot of mulch. Now it was loose. It wasn't a shredded material. It was kind of chipped up material, kind of loose. But yeah.
The good news is that we can hope, and I suspect that we'll be seeing that most of them will survive. It'll take some rain for them to get restored, but they'll within a year they'll start producing again, I think.
Use this time with the drought to kind of prune them and manage them and make sure they're at the appropriate height so you can harvest the figs and maintain it. So look as this is as a blessing in disguise, or look for the silver lining, if you will, on a drought that may affect the figs and the fig growth, so you can get in there and do some pruning.
Okay. All right.
But anyway, that was it. Kind of the idea on January.
Okay.
The upcoming month.
And February. Well, and then can you do things like your planning? You talked about that. I know that sometimes we have in the quieter gardening season, we've talked about getting beds ready. Well, you kind of talked about that too with your compost. Maybe cleaning out the beds.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Fertilizing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if you Mark mentioned the emphasis on planning, if you've figured out where your beds are going to be, what you're going to plant, then it's a good idea to get that compost in there and also that fertilizer in there, so that the beds are ready for action when you're going to do the planting.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, Milton.
Yes.
When is the time of year that a lot of fertilizers are cheaper or on sale.
Windsor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes they want to, for inventory purposes, get rid of some product, and sometimes it'll go on sale.
Oh, okay.
Well, make sure you get some. If you know what you want and have planned appropriately, yeah, sometimes you can find some good deals.
Well, and then fertilizer, is that something that, again, you can keep for a while? I think we've heard you talk to people. Yeah, I had it in my shed. It's been about 3 years. Is it still okay? And
Well, it's best if you can keep the top sealed. The modern fertilizer, like our 1959 and Osmocote, they're pretty stable. But in the old days, that wasn't always the case. Some of the fertilizers
they'd
we
go quick.
used, the nitrogen sources were a little erratic and they're always ready for action.
I can't remember the correct term. It wasn't nitrification. It just kind of went up in the air.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes if it got moist, it caked up like a brick. So that was also the issue. We wanted to keep it dry, sealed and dry.
Okay.
As much as possible.
Okay. All right. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. Bert, we're still waiting for you to call. We want to answer that second question for you. Don't wait too long because we want to make sure we give you plenty of time. But, yep, 210-308-8867. Lots of great things on sale here at Millburgers. We'll mention David's class again. If you're interested in houseplants, whether you're a novice or a pro, David Rodriguez will be here on the 11th of January, 111, and he will be doing a class from 10 to 11:30 on houseplants.
It's worth going to the class or visit the Millburgers just to see what they've got in the greenhouses.
I agree.
Yeah, because I only go in there a couple times a year, it seems like, and then I'm always amazed. I see those Phalaenopsis orchids and some of the other plants that we've mentioned. It's just amazing how beautiful some of them are. Relatively easy to grow and grow them in the house.
When is that?
When is what?
The seminar.
111. January 11th.
Oh, okay.
10 to 11:30.
That's why I must have missed it.
I was trying to be clever to make it easy to remember.
I missed the cleverness.
So not next weekend, not next Saturday, but the Saturday, a week from next Saturday. And hopefully it'll be in the greenhouse, so that'll be good too, because then you can just point him out. You can see exactly what he's talking about.
And
all right.
10 to
11:30. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. While we do, give us a call, 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. More of Millburgers Gardening South Texas coming up on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Bert's going to call us next weekend. So, I'm sorry, Bert. All right, 210-308-8867, the number to call. You're listening to Millburgers Gardening South Texas. Yes, sir?
He's probably a very busy man.
He is a busy man. Yeah. Plus, it's cold as heck over there, and it's going to get colder next weekend.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, or next week. He's got normal temperatures are in the 20s. Eek. Bert's going to have to tell us how he protects his plants.
Yes,
or can he protect them in the 20s?
Well, you don't.
You don't? You just let them go?
Well, you pick the right plants.
Okay. Which is good advice for here, too.
Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth.
How about that?
But it's always enticing. I mean, if you're in a climate like ours, there's always some plants that, they could survive and they'll be beautiful if I do this or if the weather doesn't get quite severe. Whereas in Michigan, you say, the weather's going to be, it's going to be 10 below at least once.
So we're always tempted with those subtropical and tropical plants here in San Antonio. In Michigan, we don't have that problem. They're going, they're not going to make it, so we're going to try it.
You don't even try.
Yeah, you would try.
Okay. All right. Again, 210-308-8867. I had a question in my... Oh, I knew what I was going to ask. I was going to go to Calvin again. So, Calvin, you talked about New Year's resolutions, and that's going to be the article, Gardening New Year's Resolutions, for next week that folks will see in the Express News, right?
Yes.
What about resolutions that are kind of adjacent to gardening? Like birding, nature, that kind of stuff? Oh,
gosh, yeah. I can't resist those. The monarch butterflies will be mentioned. There's a real opportunity there. One of the things, the general recommendations is that you use your knowledge as a gardener and what you've learned and expand and take on a challenge. Represent the environment at your church or at the school or at the water system, and then that's part of it. And then a lot of those issues. I don't know. I'm thinking how many we may have 20 issues listed, and half of them are related to just expanding, or you're using the knowledge you have, or expanding the knowledge you have, basing a new exploration on what you've learned in gardening so far, and play a role. And of course, the opportunities for your kids and grandchildren, and for your neighbors, schools, your organizations that you represent. They're just a lot of neat topics. And of course, when we talked about this too, all those organizations, like we had Andrew here from the Gardening Volunteers of South Texas.
Andrew is shy.
Yeah, he did want to come on the air, but yeah, that's someone I'm closely associated with at the monthly meetings. Third Monday of the month. There we go, Mark. Go to their website. But lots of nice topics, lots of good camaraderie, and the opportunity to learn some things. And I always think that's important, the opportunity to learn things. As well as other groups like the San Antonio Men's Garden Club that Calvin and I are with or have associations with. But there's also the Master Gardeners and other places online. I'm also associated with the Bear Branches Alliance.
Oh, yeah. Talk about that. That's a good organization.
Is a group dedicated to planting trees around town. They have a lot of data. So they're more data-based. And so they are trying to obtain grants to plant and remove trees in and around areas of San Antonio which are lower socioeconomic areas and that don't have the resources to remove trees and then plant new trees. So they also have agreements with certain school districts. Northside Independent School District comes to mind. About planting trees at schools. So a wonderful group, really doing some outstanding work towards trees.
And we forget, so I went to the Garden Center website, and the Garden Center website has a listing of garden clubs. But if you live like in Castle Hills, if you live in Laurel Heights, the Terrell Heights, all these places seem to have their own garden clubs too.
I've spoken to most of them.
Oh, really?
Years,
cool.
But me, Calvin, among others, spoken to most of them. We know most of them.
Okay, there's.
In fact, people stop me on the street or in parks.
Oh dear.
So that was the last one.
Right.
Hardenberger Park is that Mark Peterson? Why, yes,
Ooh,
it is.
These are interesting. What is the Gardeners at Large? Are you familiar with that?
No.
Okay. The Prickly Pear Garden Club. If you're in the Prickly Pear Garden Club, call us now. Let's see, Whispering Oaks Garden
Yes.
Club. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. I accidentally turned up. But yeah, there's lots of
The Terrell Hills, Terrell Heights,
Orchid Society.
Orchid Society. It's amazing how many.
Ikebana, am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, but that's the art form of plants.
Oh.
Remember the shaping.
Oh, is that bonsai or different?
Well, no, it's different from bonsai.
Oh, okay. Wow, they meet the first Thursday. If you're interested in that, they meet the second Thursday at 9:30 at the Garden Center. Yeah, so if you're looking for stuff, Rose Society is on there. Herb Society is on there.
Yeah, herbs.
Yep.
Spoken to them. They're very nice.
How about your Milton? You used to. I think it was you. You used to communicate well with the water gardening group.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I don't see them on here. We'll have to have them call us next week. The Water Garden Club of San Antonio. Because
that's an interesting.
They did a lot, and they're up at different events and stuff like that.
That goes with what Calvin's saying is maybe attend some of these garden clubs or participate with some of these garden clubs. Strike out new and try a little something new.
I'm going to assume that most of them are low cost or no cost to attend the meetings. So if you were interested in a specific type of thing, this would be a good way to...
well, and of course, we've mentioned this many times, but the Men's Garden Club, San Antonio Men's Garden Club, is through the years, have been very active in initiating projects. And the new president is interested in expanding its membership and kind of getting it back into as many projects as they have in the past. So that'll be one that we really have to...
okay, I'm writing it down.
Okay.
So all right. I was yelled at for not contacting
Nobody
Albert
yelled at you.
Albert?
Albert.
All right. He's writing that down. You can hear him writing it even as we speak. But yeah, so got a lot of good calls at the end of the show yesterday. So if you've been thinking about something, you can still call us, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867.
One of the characteristics of all these opportunities that exist, the garden clubs and the garden, the master gardeners there, it's the degree of training that's involved, the degree of commitment. You can, if you really want a challenge and you really want to learn an organized teaching experience, you pick one. And if you want to just be casual about what you're learning and kind of pick and choose, then you pick another organization. And you can be in several of the organizations for the topics. If the topics interest you, or the manner of training, or the locale, if it's in your neighborhood or in one of the issues that
doesn't your neighborhood have an active
oh gosh, yeah.
Oh yeah, so I mean, and I know you've gotten a lot of joy out of that.
Yeah, Education Resource Center is one of the things, and the Dream Hill Estates education, Dream Hill Estates neighborhood is active in a lot of environmental issues, and hopefully we can. One of our goals, education goals, is to make everybody more capable of being environmentally appropriate in their behavior, and also influencing the community and our city in a positive way.
All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Some of the things you'll find on sale right now at Milberger. Some of these are going to be while supplies last, but the holiday cactus is on sale in the 4-inch pot. Normally it's $7.99. It is now 50% off. Pansies, which we can see from here, they look gorgeous. are in the 4-inch pot, normally $1.59 each. They're on sale for $5. We also have calendula. Oh, I was going to take a peek at them. Did you see them coming in?
Yes.
Or yes?
They're very lovely.
Oh, are they? Okay,
Yes.
cool. They're also on sale for $5 in the 4-inch pot. How many different colors were there?
Just two.
Just the two, yellow and orange?
And orange, yes.
Okay. Are they difficult to... It says long-lasting color, pinch-off blooms to provide long-lasting color, beauty in a flower bed or container. Are they difficult to take care of?
No.
No, they're tough?
Yeah.
They're kind of in the same league with pansies, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they do very well in containers in full sun. Tolerate the
The extremities very well.
cold weather. They tolerate pretty well too. They're one, at least in
Oh,
my
really? So-
landscape, that is. If there's one at the end of the season that's still there performing, calancholas.
Oh, really? Primrose, we mentioned the cyclamen, but in the 3.5-inch pot, they're 4 for $20, so that's 5 each if you get 4 or more. Reblooming bearded iris flags. Did you say you got some of those, or I sort of remember somebody got those?
No, we were talking about them.
Okay.
Maybe off the mic, but this. I love Narcissus as my favorite for February, and so that's the one I like. But I like bearded iris as well because
Both of those plants are pretty much deer
resistant. Yeah,
All right. We got Jane.
most neighborhoods.
Jane is on the line, I believe, at 210-308-8867. Jane, welcome to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. I'm messing with bird seed because, I got a lot of hungry birds out there.
Oh, are you?
So-
What kind of birds you got?
I've got I did see one of those blue painted buntings. Only
Ooh.
one. Did y'all see any?
What are they?
Have you
Those-
I
we
saw
have the
one
orange
early.
breast.
Yeah, I saw
And
one
the blue
earlier
back?
this year, but not lately.
Oh, yeah, I saw one about maybe 2 weeks ago. But anyway, I was
He did
going to
what?
wonder if I could beg you. I'm from Fayette County, and I'm just going to beg you guys to film that houseplant show and put a link on the KLUP website that I can watch it.
Well, it'd
please.
be on Milberger, so we'll drop that hint to Trace.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
Okay,
So
and one more thing.
Sure.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
No,
you
I
go
was,
ahead.
I was going to ask him, does Milton know where Fayette County is?
No.
There you go. Okay.
Where's
I'm
Fayette
on
County?
I'm halfway between Schulenburg and Houston.
Oh,
San Antonio
okay.
and Houston.
Hallettsville.
Right there in the middle, Flatonia
Okay.
area.
Did you have
But
all the
anyway.
storms?
The other
No,
day?
it wasn't bad. I had 3,500s yesterday, and then I
Oh.
think it was Monday night or Sunday night, we had the 2.7
Whoa.
Wow.
over
You could
here.
send some of that our way if
Yes,
you'd like.
We're very jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like you
But
should
I heard
share.
Muldoon. I heard there were possibly some high winds in the area.
Yeah.
So,
But-
but that was more like northern Fayette County, maybe northwest
Yeah.
Fayette County. And I'm
Okay.
kind of just south.
I like that. I used to have to drive in that area all the time when I was with the Texas Forest Service. So when you said Muldoons and Flatonia, yeah, okay. I remember all those cities.
So what was your second one? I want to make sure we have enough time.
Yeah, I have a banana tree planted in the ground, and the leaves keep drooping down. I got it was beautiful, and it's only about maybe 3.5 feet tall, and there's only 2 standing up leaves left. Is that normal? Did it get too cold? What's going on?
Yeah. So I was looking at Calvin, and he's looking at me. Yes, that is normal for this time of year.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
Is it a regular banana, or is it one of these specialty ones with the beautiful blood red splotches on it?
No, it's a lighter green. It's short. It never got real tall. I got it from HEB Nursery in Victoria. It's probably 4 years old, but it came back beautiful with the rains this year.
Okay.
So, yeah.
If you can keep it warm during cold weather, the earlier it starts, the more likely you could have fruit. No guarantees. No guarantees.
I don't care for fruit. I'm not a banana person anyway.
So, but they're kind of cute when the fruit ripens on it. Sometimes it's a maroon color, so
okay.
kind of cool. But yeah, so if you can get it started real early, that's what we used to do at the Botanical Gardens.
All right, thanks, Jane.
Okay.
I'll pass your suggestion on, okay?
Hi, Jane.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks. Okay, bye-bye.
You take care. All right, bye-bye. 210-308-8867, but don't call now. We have like 20 seconds left. So we'll say goodbye for today. Thanks to Al doing a great job. Thanks to you for listening. Thanks to Calvin Mark. I'm Milton Glueck. See you next Saturday on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.